Hey guys, Phoenix here and welcome to part 2 of my three-part mini-series reviewing the Security Breach Collector's Edition. If you haven't seen part 1, I suggest you do that because obviously in part 1 I go through everything that you get in the Collector's Edition of Security Breach, just very briefly going over what you get if people don't want to go too in depth. And then this review, as you've seen by the title, is about the Daycare Attendant plush. Here he is, and I'm going to be going into accuracy, all the details and just stuff about him, which is really cool. So yeah, so let's get into it. So here he is, and this is the sun side. Obviously we'll just start off with this. He can move his arms, which is really cool. You've got the little bells. I think this is such a cool feature because they actually make a noise. He's even got like these little ribbons, like they're not printed on, these are actual like ribbons attached to his hands. Yeah, the ribbons are actually really cool. They could have easily just like printed this on, but they didn't. You've got the tag here which says Daycare Attendant, and you've got thanks for collecting me, and obviously the sun and the moon. And then you've got this really cool material for the other side, which is just the silhouette or the outline of the plush. I'll do a little size comparison while I'm here. I'll get the YouTooz Bunny plush. So here she is. They're actually bigger than her just because, I mean, she's sitting down and they're standing up. I guess if you had her like standing up, she would be as big, which makes sense. But yeah, that's these two together. Obviously you can tell the signature style with like the eyes. I guess to a Funko plush, I'll just grab the one that's nearest to me, which is Nightmare Freddy from my shelf. You've got, so they're a lot bigger. That's a point to be made. So if you're gonna do these two in a video with the Funko plushies, yeah, they're gonna be towering over, if you know what I mean. So yeah, right, so before I go into accuracy, I just want to say that anything that I'm talking about here will just be nitpicks because overall this is amazing. I just want to say that like this is one of the best plushies we've ever got for FNaF, like officially. I mean, the detail is just like, there's so much, so anything that's wrong will just be small things. But yeah, before we get into that, let's show you the moon side. Here he is. Obviously the first major thing is the big sun spikes. You can still see, but they're just black, just to make them not as apparent. But yeah, let's talk accuracy. So for Sun, I think for the face, well, for both of them for the face, because they're pretty similar, this is sort of a stylized look here for like what you've going on with the face, because it's pretty much the same, but obviously in game, if I put Sun's head up, you can see that the nose goes a lot longer. But this is just because obviously it's a plush, it's got to be simplified. For some reason Sun's got like 2 eyelashes on this eye, I think that is, but he doesn't have them for this eye. I'm not quite sure why, because Moon doesn't have this. But as you can see, we've got these, you've got the cheeks that stick out, which is good because obviously Sun and Moon's cheeks are quite prominent. But yeah, this is so accurate. You've got the 3 little spots here the Sun has, and Moon, because they both have the same mold. The 2 ones on the nose, obviously these 2 patterns here, and then 3 little spots up here. The only other thing is like there's a very slight inaccuracy, which is, again, this is such a nitpick, but Sun and Moon have this like little pattern here. Like, I'm not really sure what you'd call it. It's just I don't know what it is. It's just there, but it's not here on this. So then moving on to the body, the first inaccuracy is that on Sun and Moon's like body, there is like a little separation here. It goes, there's a color here and there's a slightly more saturated color here, and it goes, I'll show you, it goes down and then comes here in this sort of pattern, whereas this plush, it just is one whole thing. Then you've got this part, which again, super accurate. The only inaccurate thing is like on the shoes here, you see this like embroidered shape. In the actual model, this is like a moon, like a half moon symbol. It doesn't actually go all the way up, like I guess like a hook, which is slight inaccuracy. But you've got the bells on the end of the shoes, which again, such cool little details. The only other thing I would say is this, like, I guess like brown here should be like a yellow. This is kind of accurate. It should be a bit more of a red, I think, but this should definitely be more of a yellow than like a brown. And I think same goes for this pattern up here as well. So then for Moon, you've got all the same little spots in the area. He even goes as far as having only 1 visible spot here, just because the rest would be under the hat. But in the model, you actually can't see that because of his hat here. Speaking of his hat, you've also got the end of his hat here on this. They used one of the spikes to have his hat come out the end here, just to make it look a little bit more natural. It should have a little bell on the end, but that would look odd on this side, so I guess they just decided against it, which is fine. And I've just noticed actually on this side, they actually do have the split pattern. You know, the one that I was literally just talking about a minute ago, they actually do have this, probably because it's more noticeable on Moon. Which makes sense because on here there's 2 very different colours, whereas here it's only a very slight difference. They probably didn't bother this side, but then did this side just because it's much more prominent on this side. Interestingly enough, they have the exact same, I don't know if I can get it both in one shot, but you can see they both have the same colours here. Again, so same criticism, this should be a bit more of a yellow. And whereas Sun's like shade of colour here doesn't change from here to here, on Moon's side it actually does. It goes from this colour to this colour. And yeah, obviously the pattern here is different. It's the stars on his like pyjamas, whereas this side is just the stripes for Sun, which is again really accurate. But yeah, that is the Sun and Moon Daycare Attendant plush from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach that only comes with the collector's edition of Security Breach. As far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure you can only get it with this, and this is available for like over £100 or dollars in stores, and you can get it from Maximum Games and Amazon as well. I don't even think I showed it from the side, but there it is. This is like the teaser that they showed off. I'll show you here. They showed like a little teaser ages ago of what it looks like. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal plush. It is one of the best like plushies we've ever got. And it's the first plush of Sun and Moon, because we actually don't have any more. There's 2 more on the way by YouTooz, and they're like different designs. Instead of them being one plush, they are different plushies, and they have a slightly different design. Like the spikes on Sun's head are a lot different and stuff, and they're coming out very soon actually. But yeah, if you want to see, if you're still here and you want to see more, then you've got this for the next video that will be coming out very soon. Which I'm going to record straight after this, which is an in-depth analysis on the YouTooz Vanny figure. So if you want to see that, then stick around, subscribe and all that stuff. And if you want to see my review on all of the collector's edition stuff, like all of this stuff and Steelbook and everything, then that is already on my channel. I'll have a link at the end of the video and in the card in the corner. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.